Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is a race in London. This is the EVR Winter Series race in category B on the Greater London Flat, of course, in London. Oddly enough, it's the Winter Series, and here in Northeast Ohio, it's feeling a lot more like winter than it is spring. I'm doing this race on Saturday, the day after Good Friday, the day before Easter Sunday. I had a solid Whoop recovery score of 98%, so I am well in the green today. I was looking forward to this race because it wasn't some 8-10 lap crit race on downtown Dolphin. It was just something a little new. 25 miles, 3 laps with a decent lead in as well. So a pretty good group of guys, A, B, C, and D, all racing together. I was looking forward to. I was feeling pretty good. I did a pretty good warm up. It was like 15 minutes or so, nothing crazy. But I mean, I'm feeling pretty fresh. I ought to be. I'm at 98% recovery, so I'm riding around, and I'm implementing previous tactics that have been advised to me by some other people like yourself who have watched my previous crit races, and I'm just trying to try new things and get better. And I'm stoked about it because if you look right now, I have about 75 or so RPM, and my heart rate, I mean, now it just kind of spiked up to about 169, or, well, I'm in 170s now, but a minute ago, it was at like 150. I was so excited, granted, it was still the lead in, that my heart rate was 150 something in this race. I was like, okay, this is an excellent sign. This is my day. Well, I don't know, when the race actually started, it was a little bit of a different story, but I mean, nonetheless, I felt really good. Things were pretty consistent. A little bit of that yo-yo effect. Like here, I had the draft boost. I know we were coming up to, I guess, the actual start of the race. I was anticipating getting another power up. That is true. So I used it then, my drafting boost on that -1 percent decline. And that's what this course was. A lot of -1, -2 maybe, and just kind of long stretches of it. So it wasn't necessarily hilly, but just some long stretches. So we do that hairpin turn, we come back down, and yeah, things are looking really good for me. Again, heart rate about 150, just a little above. RPM 73, 74, like pretty chill right now. So I was here for that. Like, look at my power profile down at the bottom. A couple digs on the hill or whatever it was, or maybe I was falling off the back. But look, like that's so low. Like that's like a recovery ride. I'm here for that. So that was really exciting. And then as it goes on, there's a couple sections where the field got pretty strung out. And maybe that's just like that slight decline where I start going to the back a little bit. So it's like, okay, let me put in some effort, get back into the pack where I'm like pretty solid. I mean, we're 25% into the first lap. Like the race has barely begun, really. We're just riding around. In other news, I am officially and fully signed up for a local crit race, 2 local crit races, both on the same course on different weekends. I have 2 weeks before mine, 2 weeks from time of recording, and then the next one will be the week after that. So 2 weeks from today, and then 3 weeks from today. Looking forward to that. I'm getting my power up higher. See right here, the field is pretty strung out. I used the drafting boost again. I put down a lot more power than I really wanted to. I catch back up. It was like all of a sudden people got like antsy or something. I don't know. So we all kind of bunched back up. It was like there was a little bit of a slinky effect. And I think that might have to do a little bit with A, B, C, and D categories all riding together. And then you get a couple guys off the front. People get a little squirrely about that. So now it's like the pack we had is kind of obliterated. I was just doing like 300 watts. We kind of catch it back up together a little bit. We're here now. It's looking pretty good. I mean, again, we're doing 300 watts. Yeah, okay. Like this is all right. 1%, 2%. I have this up at like four times the speed because it was an hour long race. But Yeah, I'm holding on pretty good. I'm feeling good. My heart rate's not crazy. Very sustainable. The power is very sustainable, especially being in a group like this. So I'm feeling good. And honestly, I have high hopes. I know that, even now there's still 16 full miles left, but we go down under this underpass, and then the real, I guess, one quote unquote hill would be right here. It goes up to about 4% or so. Let's keep watching this. I want to slow it down a little bit. And again, it's been recommended to me to put my power down on the hill, especially when there's a slight decline on the other side, because I weigh about 162, 164 pounds, somewhere in there. So on those slight downhills, I just go backwards. But being so light, I got to put my effort in on the uphill, and maybe not be the first one up there, but I got to be kind of towards the front. So all of a sudden, I mean, we're not even going downhill right now, but I'm going backwards. And but look, I'm still doing 300 watts, still putting out plenty of power. Heart rate is still under control, cadence is still under control. 3% gradient, 400 watts now. So it's like, okay, what the heck is going on? Like all of a sudden, coming up to towards the end of this first lap, everyone, look at that. It's like a single file line all the way around this turn, except for the couple of gaps. And that was, unfortunately, the beginning of the end. This is one of my biggest key mistakes of this race. I should have, for sure, jumped on this. But I get nervous because it's not like they're 1 second ahead of me. So I could have just, lit a match and caught up to them. But I wanted to keep this like average power. I was like, oh no, we're going to go uphill. Like we're going uphill right now. I'll catch up to them on something like this. And then it just didn't happen. Not for lack of effort. I just had this like 500 watt spike right there. And the gap is just increasing. Slowly but surely, it's just like real steady. It's kind of the slinky effect. So the gap behind me is kind of increasing. At the same rate, the gap in front of me is also increasing. So key takeaway, once this starts to happen, I need to jump on it. But I don't know. I just get like too nervous because I don't want to like blow myself up trying to catch up. But the alternative, what happens every time, I don't turn myself inside out to catch up, and then I just end up doing the race by myself. So this is just a few seconds ahead here. I'm with these other two guys, and we're putting some power down. We're trying to catch these guys. We are on a slight decline, and we are actually making up some ground, surprisingly, probably more so right about now. Look, they are 6 seconds ahead. I mean, we're putting 300 watts down. I mean, it's not for lack of effort, that's for sure. Look right here, 3 seconds. They are 3 seconds ahead. Now they're 2 seconds. We're over 500 watts around that corner. This is a key moment. Myself and D. Martin, the American, there should have jumped on. This is my second regret, that I should have lit this match and stepped on it to catch up with them. And look, there goes the race. Their gap only increases. They're at 7 seconds now, and it's a bunch of B's too. It's maybe a couple A's there, but 10-second gap now. There it goes, and at that point, I just don't have it in me to close that down. All right, so for this portion, it's just me and these two other guys. We're doing what we can, working together decently well. I have this feather power up, so I use it on the one, again, quote unquote hill right about here. Kind of pull ahead. This is where it got kind of weird. I mean, yeah, it was a little dig, I guess, but this guy got all like butthurt about it, so he just like starts to pull away. I mean, at this point, like, we're together, but I don't know if he thought I was gonna leave him or something. But we turn this corner, and this is that slight downhill, and he just decides to go for it, and it was like, okay, dude, I don't know. I could tell it was like suspicious or something. So I don't know. He didn't like that I used the power up, and he was like really putting the power down. The other guy, we start to lose him, and we turn this corner right here, and that was the last time I ever saw that guy. But why he did that, I don't know. Why not just work together with me and the other guy? Granted, we lost him, but because the group is a full minute ahead of him. So, I mean, whatever, dude, but I wish you all the best. So I won't bore you with it. I did finish this entire third lap completely alone, about a minute and a half behind that front group and about 20 seconds ahead of the guy who we kind of left behind. So according to the Zwift, I got 13th place, and then on Zwift Power, I actually came in 9th. The most impressive part is, if you remember from a couple videos back, a goal of mine is to be able to do 250 watts for 60 minutes. According to this, I did 244 watts for 60 minutes. So that was a big win. Technically, I did get top 10. Granted, there was 14 of us, but it's a lot more impressive to say I did, in fact, get a top 10. So, yay me. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Give me some feedback. I love to hear about it. I love to implement some other tactics and some words of encouragement as well. Other than that, I'll catch you in the next one.